And we're live, folks, back again. This is your host of Lit Literature, the Dayman. Just joking, the Demon, a.k.a. me.
Dayman.
The Dayman, a.k.a. me.
Not the Nightman, just the Dayman.
Dayman.
And we are talking today, again, part 2 and the final part of The Blood Mirror. We're super pumped. By Brent Weeks. We're super pumped to start.
Brent Weeks.
Brent Weeks.
Brent Weeks.
We are super pumped to get on to reading The Blinding White. So we had a lot of speculation last episode. You're here with the same crew as last episode. And so let's get a little bit of a round circle, and then let's get going on this crazy discussion that we were all excited to have.
Cool. Ben, you want to start off the round circle?
Circus around.
Circle around.
Hello. What are we talking about in this round circle?
Introduce yourself.
Ben the Hitman. Even the Dream.
The Cherry.
Brent the Director.
And I'm the Demon. Okay.
A.k.a. myself.
Cheers. The
Cheers.
Demon. Cheers. All right. So, we had a lot of speculation, but last episode. Let's continue that, but let's jump back real quick and talk about Kip finding out he's more than full spectrum polychrome. He also has key and peril on both ends.
So he's really full spectrum.
Yeah.
I guess.
Even hidden full spectrum.
Hidden full spectrum. Secondly, he doesn't believe he's the Lightbringer. Everyone else does, but I think he might be starting to believe it because he's becoming quite the
Leader.
competent leader. And also, he is binding people that should never be bound, really.
That wouldn't normally be bound.
Yeah.
Thank
And-
you.
Would it be never? Should it be never, Jeff?
Never is a strong word.
Yeah, man.
Why are you using it?
You're using it.
I think part
But
of
when I use it, I don't mean it.
Okay.
I think part of this rise, which I think is awesome, is his absorption of like 100 of the most like influential people's stories like into his body.
It's helping him a lot.
So
remember this hunting?
He's starting to kind of
Tracking
like get these visions, and he's kind of starting to accept them and not like fight it. But he doesn't always remember everything. But he's starting to get these intuitions, and he's even questioning like when he's like drawing battle plans. He's like, "Is this me? Like, is this all me? Like, some of this is definitely like."
He took
could
a
be
lot
being
of
influenced.
information in.
Yes.
That's it. You know, the best part though is when they described him like hunting after the white. And he's like absorbed that guy who could hunt, and like he talked the whole story about how he was skinning people and the blood war, and like just he could touch a deer on the butt several times and then like killed with his bare hands the white deer.
Yeah.
But then he's like, but there's a difference between knowing it and your
actually
body
doing it.
doing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And it's like it helped him, but it
wasn't there. It didn't
wasn't
need
the
get
same,
the power. Yeah.
but it did help him.
Yeah,
because
he
the
smelled
knowledge
him,
is one
and
thing,
he
right?
was able to follow him,
Yeah,
and then almost got
Knowledge is
blown
power.
off.
knowledge
Yeah.
is power.
And he's definitely learning to kind of use that, and it's definitely becoming part of his advantage. Like,
Yeah.
he's getting an upper hand based on it.
I feel like he also learned some of this stuff from Liv's dad.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, because he was an amazing general. But it's actually even funny when Liv's dad, Corvan Corvan was saying...
Corvan Danavis.
Corvan Danavis.
Yeah, when he was saying, he's like,
man.
Kip hasn't realized it yet. I've taught you better than this. Like, but it's funny because all of his teachings were like kind of I think he did intentionally try and like show Kip some stuff, but a lot of it was just like, I'm also teaching you to forge, but I'm gonna hide some little things in there and like helping around on that.
It was funny though when it was really bad because Corvan comes in and he's like, "How's Kip doing?" She's like, "He hasn't seen the trap yet." He's like, she's like, "Not everyone could be a once-in-a-lifetime amazing general."
Oh, she's like, there can only be one in a lifetime generation at a time, or general at a time.
He's like, "I guess so."
It calms him down too. He's like, I guess you're right.
Pats himself on the shoulder.
He is pretty awesome. I love him.
He's
I am
phenomenal.
pretty great.
I do
Man,
have.
I don't know what's going to happen to him in his next book.
I know.
Is he going to come the lead of the Chameleon?
Man, he has a role because here's the deal. His wife told him about all these chains of the future, he definitely has a directive that he knows he wants to pursue.
Yeah.
I just...
How about even like
it
his daughter
sucks
has a
so
1
much.
in 5 chance? That's going to be the weakness of him. That could that'll be a point in the next book where it's like, I have this, like, I either have to trust my daughter or I have to, like, go stop her, and it's
It
gonna
feels
be a
to
big
me,
thing.
though, it feels to me that he did let that go because his wife said, like, there's not a lot you could do. Like,
Yeah.
you did what you could, you freed her, she made her choice. If you don't let that, and he seemed to be like, it sucks, but I know.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we'll see when the point comes where he has to remember that if he can or
Without
not.
the third eye, also.
Yeah.
Because he loved that.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the scene where Liv finds out that Gavin is really Dazen, and his father was always loyal to one.
Oh, jeez.
That I cannot wait for either. By the way, actually, obviously, the White King knows this because he also is a black drafter who understands that it's Dazen who did that, but also some of his new goddesses, like the Blue, know that because she found that out before she broke the halo.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, whether she told him or not, she probably never did because she never had to. There's other people out there that know that.
How about also Andros knowing from the well, 6
7
years
years.
after, 7 years
Yeah,
after
yeah.
he knew, but finding out and like this whole time just being like, I'll go along with
I
it.
loved it when he told him, "When did your mother know?" He's like,
No.
"When did your mother know?"
It's like immediately.
She's like, immediately. She's like, "That woman." She was always better than me at some shit, and I hated it.
He loved it.
He loved it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He is such a polarizing figure. We talked about
He's
it before,
hard to
and to
figure
this day, you're like,
Polarizing, big words.
you hate him, then you're like, there's
He's such a
something
polar bear.
about him, and you're just like, you're probably on my side, damn it.
But fuck
Yeah.
you.
But
Yeah.
fuck you.
There's a lot of characters that I feel like express a lot of the way that I feel about him really well. Like, there's times when they're like, oh, like, he does have some emotion, and then he just, like, does something else. It's just, like, he's doing it just because it has to be done, but it still doesn't make him seem like any
Yeah.
less of an asshole.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're like, I don't hate him.
Yeah.
No, man.
I don't hate him, but
I kinda
don't
hate him.
like him.
I don't like him.
I don't hate him.
I don't hate him, but I don't like him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Just think how interesting it would be if the book was from his perspective.
I know.
And it would be like, all these idiots are trying to end the world, and I'm the only one who sees it. And then we'll all be like, we all love him.
Yeah, I know. All these idiots are ruining the world, and I have to save it. Oh, God. They don't even know these 200 gods are trying to screw us right now, and I'm trying to do all this.
Sitting there playing Nine Kings and with Kip, and he's just like, man, if this kid even knew how much I'm teaching him right now.
Oh, my
Lucky
son's
little
pretty
fuck.
good. He's definitely my son. I don't know that. And then I'm a bastard. Just throw him off.
Kip, I really did like you.
The interesting thing, too, is to think about the perspective when he technically was a white and he had broken the halo.
Yeah.
And he was supposedly writing and going over to be the red god.
Yeah, of the
But then you're
Color
wondering,
Prince.
now we're like, but was he, or was this another ploy on
Yeah.
top of a ploy on top of a ploy to do something? Like, and he was just running out of time.
Yeah,
Getting
yeah,
desperate.
yeah, yeah.
Now, I just, either way, he's a giant douche. And Dazen said it the best. Because he's like, why didn't you just ask me? You just toyed with my brain for 3 hours, did 5 tests.
Oh, about where
tortured me for
the
5
sword is.
hours, and you could have just asked me.
But
And it is like not used to that.
But
So,
speaking of that, what do you guys think? When are they gonna find the white Luxin that he made?
yeah, the white Luxin that.
Where is
that-
it?
The white
Iron
had
Fist
it.
had
Iron
it.
Fist
Iron
gave
Fist
it
had
to the white.
Gave it to
Oh.
the white.
Yeah,
So we don't know what it is. I'm thinking it's gonna show up, and Andros is gonna have it.
think so.
But Andros has already said that White Luxin is probably, because it seemed pretty honest when he's saying, I think it's a myth and I don't think anyone can create it now.
But
So I don't think he has it
doesn't
He
yet.
mean-
doesn't
Myth.
have it yet.
But he could just be lying to his son.
He could be.
He could,
But it
yeah.
seemed pretty honest
Yeah.
when he was like, because he was like, why don't we just make another one? And he's like, we've tried and we don't even think White can be drafted anymore.
But Dazen immediately got that White Luxin was possible and that the black dead man was lying to him.
Mm-hmm.
He immediately got that. So whether he's found it or not, he's like, no, it's right. If Andros said that, it's there.
Yeah. Considering he's made it before, he probably has some type of
But is it-
sixth sense understanding of it, maybe.
But it's weird because he doesn't like
doesn't
the
know
black.
maybe.
I understand he
I know.
forgets because of the
That's why it's a
madness that
sixth
comes
sense.
with black.
Yeah.
But why does he not remember drafting?
Well-
He passes out after, but he doesn't. Why doesn't he remember the white?
It was an
He
accident.
didn't know he
it.
drafted the white.
He drew all the colors so he needed to it, and he just made a hunk of it, and he was out, and then Iron Fist found it, and he never
Yeah.
knew.
Speaking of which, this is frustrating because Dazen really does think he's the black and only the black. He does not yet understand the white. But the question is, can he draft the white truly, or is drafting the white being about drafting all of the colors and then combining them somehow? Or is it there's another level? Because
I mean, if that's the case, then Kip should be able to.
well, my
Yeah.
my thought is that Kip, who could now draft Peril and Key, might also be able to draft
Yeah, it's
black
super cool,
and
man.
white.
Because
Truly,
um,
full spectrum.
Andros was talking the whole time how Dazen, or let's call him Gavin, is a brute force drafter, and he has no delicacy.
Yeah.
But Kip, on the other hand, does.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Which
that-
is seen at the very end of the book
Yeah,
when he
yeah.
fixes the art
Yes.
that's in
But
the black.
I have one more
cabin.
question. Because at the second book or third book, the Mia, Janice Borg,
Yes.
she's like, how many of the 11 colors do you see?
11.
Right?
She said 11.
So that means it's possible that it's the white and black then, right?
I think it is.
Yeah.
I think that Kip might be able to draft white and black as well. I think he's gotten to Peril and Key, so he's gone. What does that put him at? I think that would white and black put him at 11.
Oh, yeah. 'cause
So
that's
white,
9.
black, peril, key.
Super violet,
Sub-red.
sub-red.
Oh, yeah.
Then it's
Red.
red and blue and yellow.
No,
Green.
Yellow's in the center.
Yellow's in the
Oh,
center.
yellow's
Oh.
in the center. Well, green and
Purple.
Green,
ultraviolet.
yellow.
Oh, no, we already said that, right?
Orange.
Or orange.
green, yellow, orange.
Orange.
So that's 3. We didn't count it when we did that.
You kept moving your hands, but you weren't counting.
Let's try that again. All right. Black, white,
White.
Key, Peril.
Just
Well, maybe he's counting.
No, he's counting. Yeah.
Super
Teamwork.
violet and
Teamwork.
sub-red.
All right.
Red.
Red and blue.
Blue.
Orange.
Orange.
No,
and
it's orange and green and yellow. 11.
yes.
11.
That is if we include this.
So
Guys, we
I
count.
think that Kip will be able to draft both black and white.
Ooh.
But he's never going to be Prism.
Nope.
So that means the career is
Thank
going to
God.
end.
So then it's like when the mirror died, she also said, I know who the Lightbringer is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
He also has that turtle bear tattoo that he couldn't get rid of by accident.
how did that come on him again? I
Because
remember
it was the card that he couldn't. She drew it at the very end, and he couldn't get to it, and he chose to screw with.
whatever the
What was
guy
that guy's
is.
name?
Abaddon.
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 Aladdin.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you. You said that. It helped me. But it was Abaddon.
Josh is always one step ahead of the
Abaddon.
one swing ahead of
I read the
story.
book and went Abaddon. Abaddon.
Abaddon. There we go. Thank you. That helped, though. It did help.
Thank you, English.
One step ahead of the...
One step ahead of the demon.
But he did choose instead of the trap because he wanted. I think that Abaddon wanted to know who the Lightbringer was, and instead of giving it to him, he kept it, and therefore he still has the tattoo because he couldn't.
But he can't
Get rid
touch
of
it and bring it out now, right?
No, he can't.
It was glowing though when he did.
It
something.
did glow.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he used
When he was
all
in the
of
fight.
the colors,
Yeah.
Whenever he drafts, it just concentrates
glows.
there.
Okay. It's pretty cool,
think.
man. All right, so we talked a little bit about this, but we started to talk about Tia versus what's her name?
Tysus.
Tysus. Thank you. And I gotta say that the team came to the same conclusion that I did by the end of the book, which was that Tysus was pretty awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah. And they even kind of scolded him when he was working on the amazing. What was it? It was the
Rope spear.
rope spear.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude, I
that's so
hope
cool.
to God though that they don't actually just throw that shit away.
They're gonna
It
give
is
it to you.
literally going to be one of the most phenomenal
What they
magical
put on
weapons
it?
like ever.
Black Luxin on the end, or no, not they didn't put the black, but they put Hellstone.
Hellstone,
So
yeah.
it'll take away anyone's magic power if it hits them.
Hellstone
So
Black Luxin though.
yeah, well, no, Hellstone is different because it absorbs whatever colors it is. Like it absorbs any of the colors out.
But isn't that
from-
what Black Luxin does?
No, because Black Luxin is
Because
super rare and can't
he-
be created easily. And Hellstone's pretty common.
Gavin, Dazen created the Black Luxin spear, and it shattered into 1,000 pieces, and he used that to line the walls in the cave.
Yeah.
And that's
Really, but I thought
The
Hellstone
Hellstone.
was more commonly known about. And you
They
wouldn't
say
think
that Hellstone is dead Black Luxin. They don't really describe how.
because
it's
but
one or
then
the
you would
other.
think that more people would accept Black Luxin's a thing because I thought Black Luxin no one knew existed except like a couple people and then but Hellstone's common,
that-
not common,
it's
but
not
people
common.
know
It's in
about it.
Rock, yeah.
like he talked about how he had to like pay a king's ransom to get all that
All the
Hellstone. So it's not common at all. And I think
But
it's
it's
not,
known about with people though.
But I think it's not common because it's made from Black Luxin. Or it's like the leftover Black Luxin, and there's only so much left.
It is that Black Luxin.
So,
Fact checker.
thank
There
you.
you
Fact
go.
checker. So anyway, point. I forget where I was going with this, but they accepted her, and we talked a little bit about like what if this romance comes to a dead conclusion in the sense of
I don't know if you guys can relate. Maybe Bando can. Has anyone ever played Final Fantasy IV?
Yes.
Yes. So whenever they talk about Tysus, I immediately think of Rydia from Final Fantasy IV. The green. Yes? No?
Yeah.
I
I don't know.
That's pretty
Wait,
good.
have
I
you
didn't
seen
think
Power
about it
Played
until
it?
you said that.
Oh my
Is
god,
it
every
real?
single time, I swear to God.
Pot 'em and pull them?
That's 4.
That is 4. Okay.
She is a green
Yeah,
too.
okay, I know what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like every single time I think about it, it's like, oh, okay, cool.
Okay. So
Okay, I love her.
But here's the thing, though, Manny. What do you think now? Like, are you?
I love Tysus.
I
I,
love
think
Tysus.
she's a really cool character. I really do. But I love Tia more than I love Tysus.
But do you love Tia with Kip, or do you love Tia as Tia?
I love Tia as Tia.
I love Tia.
I
as
love
Tia.
Tia with Kip.
Oh,
Like I love Tysus. I think she's cool, or really cool,
Cool.
really cool. But I love Tia with Kip.
wow.
I mean, to me, it's too late. He's made
Yeah.
promises to Tysus. He's
he also.
they've already been through a lot.
She's-
To leave
Amazing.
her would probably be detrimental to her sex life for the rest of her life because she would just
Oh,
assume that
jeez.
it has to do with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would destroy her.
And-
There is, in my opinion, there is no like
Unless she dies.
honorable way for unless she dies for Kip to end up with Tia. He
I
has
think
to
she
be
might
with
die
her.
protecting him.
Really?
Possibly.
Yeah, I feel
Wait,
like
you think that
he
him and
is leading
Tia are
into
gonna
a
end
trap, and I feel like he's gonna
But
lose somebody.
let's all remember that it is not out of the realm for this shit to all hit the fan. Because remember how hard it was when Marissa came and visited Gavin in the cell. That her last moments being like, "Make love to me," and he's like, "No," and then immediately Andros is like, "Well, come on, you're dead," and Gavin like that is so effed up. That
Yeah.
was so hard to read.
That
and
honestly,
Do we know
fucking
that she's
sucked.
dead?
We
We
don't
don't.
technically, but that
Yeah.
sucked.
Yeah.
And she's,
It did suck.
Oh, that
That
was
sucked.
that's so rough. And even just like Gavin's like, well, she just left there and like she know like the last thing she ever thought she ever had was like she's always second best or like was just
No,
the
she
sex-
died wasting. Like she died thinking, "Fuck, I fucked my life."
Yeah.
I don't know.
She did a
about
lot of good though. She did. That's true.
I mean,
No,
I, don't know
I
if
feel
she
like
thinks that.
she's
But when you
doesn't
put
like the
love
fact
in the
that she's
mix,
second
man-
to him or second to Karis, but at the same time, I think I don't think that she's
Man.
kind of like, oh, I ruined my life.
Well, she was going to be
Yeah.
there anyway.
exactly.
She
No.
had to be there. The fact that
chose to be there.
the fact that she even, she was probably going to be there anyway.
No, she went to the White with the plan because she was obsessed with Gavin. Remember, she explained that whole thing.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
like, she's like, this is it, and the White was like, that's a good idea, and I hate it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And she even said she's like I love that I was with my grandma, be able to be with
She
my
was.
grandma.
That's true.
But she also exclaimed that like when Gavin kind of told her like, oh, it was more like a master and a dog. like our relationship. Was
Well, he didn't tell her that. He thought it.
No, I think he does mention
he
it.
thought it.
He admits it.
No, he said, I realize. He said, I don't love you. But then in his own thought, he said, I realize I do, but it's not the same way that I love Karis.
Correct.
It's.
But
Like
then
a
he went
master
back later.
loves.
It's like it was the same way.
No,
'cause
he
he was
did.
honest
He did
with her.
actually later. He did say
Yeah.
when she was like gone.
Yeah.
He's like, "Holy fuck, I did love you."
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying, like, we can't make any assumptions because this Brent Weeks is totally
He fucks with us so
able
hard.
to, like, just be like, well, this love.
Yeah.
Did any of you guys
I'm
read the
definitely
Night
not
Angel?
making any assumptions
Did you guys
on
read
what
Night
will
Angel?
happen.
All right.
I feel like there's just so many. It's so realistic though, with like how
He's a
all these
genius
people's are
with
like
it,
overlapping, kind of, their feelings. Because then you still kind of get the feeling that Liv is realizing that maybe she liked Kip more
Oh, she
than
was
she
like,
originally thought.
she was
Yeah.
crying when she went
When
and
she
visited his
smelled
home.
and like, yeah.
And she sent him the sign, and then
She's
the
like, "You
ultraviolet
went
found
through
him
this?"
and like just wrapped all around
Well, they
him.
started rhyming, right?
Yeah.
They just started rhyming back and forth. They're like,
That was an amazing part. Like, wait, I can't stop rhyming. This is weird timing.
This is weird timing.
yeah, that was cool. And then he's like, I got a sensei. No, it was weird because it was Tysus that says, I think that was searching for you.
Yeah,
She was her
he,
that
thought, he
said
didn't
it.
know that it was just coming for him
Because-
because he thought everybody was just seeing ultraviolet.
What is Tysus green?
She's green.
Isis is green.
Is that close to no green? I
She had the glasses on.
Oh,
She
she
had
had the glasses,
glasses,
on. That's
yeah.
why. Okay, because I was like, how did she use the one who went to it?
It was just all around
Like
him.
had that
Yeah.
feeling.
It's like for him, it's like a fog, but for her, when she looked at it, it was just he was the center of it.
But she did send specifically a message to Kip.
But we don't. know what it was.
Unfortunately,
Didn't
he
come-
didn't get it.
Do we know what the message was?
No. Then
Right.
it was a trap,
Not
probably.
fully. It was a trap, and it was about the trap, and he didn't get it, which is unfortunate. Okay.
I think her name is just cool, Oliviana. So cool.
It is a
Liv.
cool name.
I like the shortened version too. It's really pretty. Liv.
Liv.
So
Liv Tyler?
Sharp, and the old man of the desert.
Oh my
God damn it, I hate him. Literally, like, I've never hated a character more in my life.
Really? I'm actually kind of like.
I fucking hate him.
He's a kind of an interesting character. I think
He's not interesting. He's trash.
Well, it's even funny when she's like
He's very loyal.
He's not that smart. Like when it's stuff that's not relating to his
No, he's
job.
arrogant. It's not- He thinks that he's, like, super powerful, like, no one's better than me kind of a deal.
Well, he definitely thinks the old man of the desert's better.
Oh, and he
well,
is
in
scared
terms of,
as
like,
shit
other
at them.
people. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he's definitely threatened by Liv. Or, not Liv.
Tia.
Tia. But she makes it seem like, oh, I'm just dumb. To help him, like, cope with it. And she's gonna end up killing him, like, it's a fact.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
But
definitely.
he's trash. He's just trash.
I gotta tell you that Tia, I almost said Liv, thanks to you.
You're welcome.
But Tia has surprised me regularly. Like, I love the scene where they test her again, and she just says,
With her father?
fuck you,
And she walks out
fuck
the
it,"
door,
and
yeah.
knows when she turns her back, she's either gonna die or win.
gonna work out.
And then immediately her mind's like, how many more times am I gonna be on that cusp?
Yeah.
Like how
she's
many more?
playing everything so.
But how much of that do you think?
Sometimes accidentally, though.
Yeah.
I think sometimes she's just like, you know what, I've had enough.
Yeah, I'm definitely not killing my dad.
They might
Fuck
be
you.
so good at identifying the people that they truly do want in the order
Yeah.
that if that she might that accidentally thing is really a test that she is passing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I
mean,
wonder though, because like you'd think. I guess it's funny because the old man of the desert was like, "Oh, we wouldn't want someone who would just kill their father." But I bet you if
What if
it's
he
the
spun
right
it?
person, in that it depends on the person. Because if it was a person that they were like, "Oh, this person's ruthless and just cares about themselves," and they gave them that and they did it, they'd be like, "Okay, this checks out."
Yeah.
That's what I think.
It's not that they're like. It's not that they're really testing to see if you belong in there or not. They're testing to see what missions to give you, whether you'll be successful or not.
And maybe it was more about just we want to know more about you.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Now,
What can we use against you?
yeah.
Now that because they
The
know that she
father.
wouldn't
Now
kill
they
her
use the
father,
father.
they're like, "Oh, we'll kill your father if you don't kill the
That's
person."
true. Because if she killed her father, then they were like, "We need something else."
Yeah, we need to find something else.
Still though, that kind of methodology, like okay, so Sharp is obsessed with the old man in the desert. However,
He's
I don't know how
garbage.
you can continue possibly keep great loyalty from that
Through
kind of a dynamic.
just fear?
Just sustaining just doesn't feel real to me. It really does
Well,
not.
and he's
The
so
dogma.
scared of the old man of the desert, and it's like Master Sharp literally can just kill anyone at any time without anyone knowing.
Murder.
We
Sharp,
don't-
not master.
Murder Sharp.
We don't know though what the old man of the desert's
Exactly,
abilities are.
yeah,
we have
that's
no
true.
idea.
Well, it's not Peril because he keeps on using those Peril glasses.
He might have key though.
that's
Maybe
true.
he's a key
And
draft.
Key could maybe do the same. We don't know. What is so super violet or ultraviolet is
Makes you super reasonable, or like
yeah. What would be? But
Super
what are
logical.
the properties of ultraviolet?
Super arrogant.
super logical.
No. Properties
is
in terms of
logic.
like using.
No,
what
blue
can
is
you do with it?
intelligence, but it makes
Oh,
you
logical.
is
Logical.
logical.
Blue is logical.
Blue is logical. Super violet is even further, so it's so logical.
Blue's
you're
like
arrogant.
organization.
Yeah, organization.
Blue is like
right.
intelligence.
It's like you're really organized. You can set a good plan and whatnot.
Yeah,
Blue
because
is
she
logic.
always uses purple to try to like make a clear-headed decision.
No, they always talk about how that's a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Even when she was like, so she would be like, my God, I've been depending way too much on my purple because it's not driving me the logical way. It's driving me the arrogant way.
Mm.
Because it's like blue is logic. Everything has to be in order and do this. Purple is like the ultraviolet is like making her super logical, but then also extremely arrogant.
I mean, that's the side effect. I think the arrogance is
Yeah.
one of the things that happen.
The
Like,
blue
Queen
is
really
like
wild.
you are ignoring certain emotion, because the blue is like I'm so logical, my emotions don't matter.
Yeah,
I
like,
need to
I'm
be
just following this.
Red is obviously the opposite. It's like
super angry,
Yeah.
driven on
emotion.
Emotion.
But when you go ultraviolet, you're like, and then sub red is super passionate, and ultraviolet is the extra logical plus the arrogance and like coldness that
Huh.
are tied with it.
Oh my gosh! So Chi would have to be even worse than Superviolet.
No, Chi, I think.
Or is Peril next? Peril.
No, you're right. Peril is the lower.
Yeah.
Chi is even worse. Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez.
So they said
Peril.
superviolet drafters tend to have a removed or detached outlook on the world around them. They appreciate irony and sarcasm and are often thought to be coldly rational.
Coldly rational.
So they're coldly rational. They're rational.
That's different than logical, which is the blue.
Yeah.
And the Peril. The thing that's funny about the Peril is they said when you look at the Peril, they become very empathetic, and they don't know that they are.
But they start feeling.
What they start doing is they start to understand, because Peril allows you to grasp all of the colors and use the different colors to your advantage. And suddenly it's like, I understand this and I understand that. I can look at this guy and understand what he might do.
Yeah.
And so like Peril is allowing him to be ultra empathetic.
And perils have a high chance of skin. What is it called? Light splitting.
Light splitting, yes.
Like they can like split light.
Now, Key, we don't know a ton about. But what would be worse than cold and empathetic? I don't know. Spiritual? So, Key might be, like, to the level of where you're so, Zen, that nothing matters. The world is the world, bro.
But
You're, like, elevated. The world is the world, bro.
because there's that one card
person.
where
If you kill
they'll
him, it
talk
doesn't
about
even
Key.
matter. We're just a cell on the planet.
Yeah. Wait, there's a
No,
card.
there was a card, and someone was talking about Key, and he was a Key user. I was like, I can feel those tumors grows in me every time I use Key. So I was like, why is Key the only one that causes
Maybe it's not, but maybe they could actually, like, sense them.
sense of yeah?
Like, because any other drafter, every time they use the magic, they're expediting their own death.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he actually can sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's super interesting. Okay. Let's get back on the story. So Kip has fallen into a trap, but he's succeeded in taking a city. Tysus is going well. Kip has thrown his amazing magical, delicate magical rope spear to
Oh, wait.
Cruxer
Yeah.
Yeah.
or Big Leo.
Oh.
Too.
Thing he's making. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, he throws light spear into Cruxer? No, that was someone else.
He put his light
He
spear
did put his
finally.
light spear finally
the
into
tip.
Dices.
Did you guys read the very end where
Yes.
the author talks about
Yes.
that
It's a real
being
disease.
a real condition?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which is very
Yeah.
cool. And he talks about it was someone that he knew that had.
That's like really
Very
traumatic.
similar
I
thing.
can't even imagine.
I know some people that have suffered from that. More than one.
Yeah,
Mhm.
me too.
I know at least
I've never heard of it in my life, so I felt like I was in line.
Well, what's funny is I never knew it was a condition.
Do you
but
even
I've
know
known,
what a
I've heard
vagina
about
is?
Yeah.
Do you know what a vagina is? Yes, I do.
I read about it.
Duh. Fact checker.
I've seen porn.
Fact checker
Wait, that
post knows. Yeah, that was pretty deep and really interesting because it was curious because it must have been a deep enough situation for him to not only write about it but make it a major plot point.
Yeah.
Oh, and it added
And
a
end the
ton
book
to
with
it.
it.
Yeah.
It added a
It climaxed the book with it. You could say. I'm sorry.
Do we know that? Do we
Wait,
know
I don't
that?
get that. I don't get it.
Okay.
Wait, are we laughing?
Because it's hard to climax with it.
Anyway. No, the climax was before that. I would like to talk briefly about Kip falling briefly back into his old nature, being a giant jackass, and then realizing that they hung a guy for that. And then, after they hung that guy for offending him, he had to hang the other guy
The real.
who did it. Yeah. That whole thing made me a little sad because I think Kip is still, in a way, himself. Obviously, he's going to be forever. But in a way, he had to learn the hard way that now in his certain position,
More capacity.
all the little things that he does are going to have very, very big and dire consequences.
Yeah.
And this happened to be this general that he just thought might have been a bit of a prick on one meeting. Maybe that guy was just tired and super angry and super.
Well, I
we
mean,
don't
the
know.
whole city and everything that happened, like, it was a stressful time.
He might have been. And to be honest, those assholes were hiding food from people,
Yeah.
and we don't know what that guy was really going,
Yeah.
through. He might have been the good guy, and then Kipri kind of realized, like,
Jeffrey, you're
Shit.
stepping into too much, like, psychology. Like, you know what I mean? Like, of course, we're never gonna have a true good guy and bad guy. It's all about perspective.
The point is that Kip realized very brutally that his one-offing of this asshole on one moment ended up killing him. Mm-hmm. And
Yeah. Well, I mean,
That's life.
He's gonna, but that is an important thing.
not life.
That's an important thing he's gonna have to realize
Jesus,
when you're
watch out for this guy if he's Kip.
but he's becoming.
No, I don't mean like I don't feel bad about it, but I'm saying like that is life. Like all these instances or small decisions can make or break it.
But that's what I
he's-
think it was
He's
important
having
for-
to realize it because
Yeah.
he's almost becoming a religious figure and like a godly figure. So his slightest f up and just being like, oh, you know what, man, my wife sometimes is so annoying, and then some zealot's like, we gotta kill his wife. Like
Yeah.
that's
Yes,
happen.
that's what I mean. It's, like
his
whoa, dude.
His
I was just trying to
emotions-
complain for a moment.
Yeah,
or
his-
call you an asshole.
His emotions.
It's like, this
can
guy got hung.
Totally
Sway people to act a certain
Well,
way.
and they're gonna kind of be like this small wave that can turn into a tsunami because of how not zealous. They're not like zealots, but when you become this religious, almost figure, and Kip obviously doesn't want it, but he's having to realize that regardless of
But
if
he's
he wants
not
it,
only just
the mantle's
becoming it,
there.
he's also earning it.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Agreed.
He
Yeah.
really is earning it.
But it means that all of his actions are way more heavy and have way more heavy consequences and weighted differently than like when he was
Dude.
before in the Blackguard and he could fuck up as much as he
Dude,
wanted.
how good are the mighty? The mighty are so
Oh.
good now. By the way, all of them are halfway to death.
Yeah, because
yeah.
they've overused their
magic.
colors.
And Kip is realizing it, and he's like, "Holy fuck!" He's also like, "We are better than any of the current Blackguard," and that is even shown with Tia. Tia, who is now finally promoted to official Blackguard, is better than the current Blackguard. Mm-hmm. Every one of the mighty is war torn,
Well,
war experience. Unbelievably,
I mean,
Like,
I
their
agree with the
team-
mighty, but I think Tia is still. I mean, she has a pair of powers, but she's
She was still
Average
whooping
black-
the ass of some of
Oh
the...
no, I think Tia's
No.
a hell of a lot stronger
Oh
than
my
you're
God.
giving her credit for.
Even Tia was whooping ass in sparring on Pure Blackguard when she just got there.
Yeah.
And poor Gavin
Well,
Grayling.
Oh, that was so
Broke
hard.
the
with
halo.
Karis
Karis had to kill him.
I
He was
literally-
like, fuck you, I'm not letting the prison do it.
Oh, I know.
Fuck
Which
your
is
son.
good. But
And he's like, I'm gonna die, so I'm gonna let you know this. Your son's a piece
dick.
of shit.
Yeah. But I don't know.
Damn.
I'm happy that they didn't, but I was like, there's something bad about him because of how quickly they lied about Gavin throwing the girl off the ledge.
I thought there was gonna be something that
I thought it
came
was gonna
about
be
that.
like, oh, they're owned by Andros, and Andros like knew it and manipulated them, but they turned out to be
No, they love
really
Gavin.
love
They
Gavin.
love Gavin.
But they were brand new to the post when
No,
that
but listen to
happened.
this though. If you love that guy and you see this, they really did see her jump off. They didn't. They saw what they saw. It was
You don't
really
think they
him pushing her off a little bit. At least in his mind. That's the best thing about Brent Weeks.
Yeah.
He gave both of it, and then he gave you like this. We will never see Gavin that dirtied. So we will only see her jump, and they believe it to their
Yeah.
soul. And Gavin, in his own mind, even if he only brushed her, he fucking murdered her.
Yeah.
To be honest, from his perspective, he murdered her.
Well, that's the thing too is
But
like
it's his perspective
those
is
brothers
overly.
kept going out and searching for Gavin.
Well, everyone was.
But that was against the Cromaria's orders.
He's the
'cause
true
orders were they
Marcus
needed
to the Blackguard.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Oh, so
when
that's
we're
why-
talking about the mighty, like, I think their names are hilarious or cool. Like Furcuti,
For Cootie.
Frexer, like they're so cool.
Suddenly, for Cootie could do like the most complex math ever. Oh, they have like I think they need about I don't know 4 bushels of bread and
Per, yeah,
3
unit of-
bushels of eggs and also have 3 kids per mom. And yeah, you're good. For Cootie, I need a fart now, please.
Yes,
I used all my intelligence on
but I'm like really concerned with Winston,
Oh yeah.
the bow and arrow guy.
Oh, because he's like they're starting to
he's
see
a
that
little,
he's
like-
enjoying killing.
yeah.
No, he's the secret murderer who found
Like-
the best job for him.
He's like a little cynical, like
Yeah.
a little
Like,
hit
I'm
off-
just here to
off
kill
hinge.
people.
He's got a little Dexter in him. He's like, I'm just gonna go somewhere where I can kill people.
Yeah, he did. He's definitely the Dexter.
How about
I'm a little concerned.
Ben Haddad also
Ben
being
Haddad?
Ben Haddad.
Ben Haddad.
Ben Haddad.
Henson.
Hey Dad. Ben is like freaking amazingly like we're gonna invent new Luxin like uses and applications.
Oh my
and
god, but
let's
he pisses
create-
me off so much too.
He
Oh,
does.
really?
I
He
agree
is a
with
little
that.
bit.
It's like, oh, I'm gonna pick the skimmer. This perfectly good skimmer. People took
It's
years
not
off their
perfect.
life.
Yeah.
And it's like
He's
it
like a
wasn't
true
perfect.
artist.
No, I
It's
agree.
not perfect.
That's
Fuck.
like really
And it's
annoying.
like you can't do that in your spot. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Ben
my-
Haddad, we all put a quarter of our life into building the skimmer.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally that's part
You
of our
can't
life.
do that. I'm the artist. Shut your ass.
This was not a masterpiece. Big, and then who's the other guy? The
Big
big
Leo?
dude? Yeah.
He's awesome.
His amazingly long and arduous story about
his parents.
his parents was pretty amazing because it literally did take him a decade to get to the point. And
Yeah, literally.
What the?
I was
Leo.
reading
The
that,
point.
and I was like, Jesus Christ, Big Leo, I want to know the end of this story. Just give me the end of this story so that I can move on to this story. And then they got to the end of it, and I'm like, God damn it! I already knew that! And so did he!
That's funny.
It was awesome. I don't know how Brent Weeks models his characters after people that he knows, but if they are actually modeled after people that he knows, it's amazing because there's a lot of an author in his own character,
Of course.
as well. So
They're definitely
if those
influenced
are
by
all
people
pieces
around
of him, he seems like a super interesting dude. If they're also people that he
interesting
knows.
dude.
I seriously want to meet them all because that sounds awesome.
Jeffrey can go from making statements like super polarized to he's a cool dude.
He's a cool dude.
That's an understatement because I could also say the dumbest things ever.
So it's like,
That was the second thing. No, cool dude is understandable. I might say things that aren't understandable.
Cool dudes under Jeff's big words category.
So he's saying Jeff's Fokudi of a group.
Not the Vercuti. No.
What happened?
Probably more like Big Leo.
I'm saying Jeff's the Fokudi.
Nah, we honestly our group
said
is
something
so
really
different
interesting,
than
and then he
them.
just
It
picks
wouldn't
his nose.
work. Wouldn't work. Yeah. Our group.
I don't think I could fit into one of those
Whoever
characters.
drinks the
No,
most
we
in
have our
Warriors.
we have our own. We have definitely our own characters, but I do love the uniqueness of each one of them.
Yeah.
because it reminds me of our group, not because people are similar to them, but because they have their own unique spots.
characteristics.
Yeah.
Like, which definitely we do have.
Yeah.
So.
We're all pretty cool dudes.
So did I tell you about this time my dad was jumping on a teeter-totter? Anyway. All right. So that was great, kind of happy ending, but the truth is that Kip has happy-ended himself into a gigantic fucking trap.
Yeah.
And the trap was, honestly, not kill Kip, just keep him over
Distracted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
'Cause we
they're
got other
sending
shit going on.
the Super Violet now.
All
the
the
Banes
Banes.
here. All
there,
of the
and-
Banes
Yeah.
in the other direction.
Yeah. So we'll see. I still think that it's an important part for him, and he should have been there, where he is now.
Well, he definitely
'Cause
finally
he-
got laid, so that
Yeah.
helped.
Oh my
he
god, can
learned-
you not?
He learned a lot.
Big words.
He
Laid.
I think he developed as a character a ton, and if he didn't have that and went straight to the Banes, he could have died. So I think ultimately it's going to be the right thing.
Now, there's one thing that I disagree with, and it's that it was the right thing, is that the third eye said, is he still going that way? That's too bad.
But just because of third eye, she could be misled too. She might.
The
not
third eye
see
also
things.
sees a potential.
Exactly.
Not necessarily 100% the truth.
No. She acknowledges that, but she
So I
spent
agree with
so
him.
much time in the sun, burning herself to hell, almost getting in the way of her last great romp with Corvan Dallas.
Almost
Corvan Dallas.
Motepas.
Lulu Dallas.
with a show.
But the point I'm making there is, like, she knows that it may not be end that he's that far, because she didn't seem that worried, but she was acknowledging that he's got to get a turnaround at some point.
Correct. But she may not also see the fact that all of the development that he's having because of all where he's at right now.
But there's a lot too that she doesn't have visibility to, and there could be
Correct.
things like anyone covered in one of the miscloaks, anything in a black cell. So there's a lot of stuff that she's kind of not privy
Blind
to.
to. Anything the light
Blind to,
cannot
yeah.
touch.
Yeah.
Everything the light touches is your
Is
kingdom.
your king.
Is your visibility.
And everything the light does not is Aurora, and you should stay the hell away from there.
I think we should
Not.
Great. Now our one fan.
I
from
do
Aurora.
have to say. I have to say. Shit. I don't know. Like, I feel really shitty that she had to die. Number one. Number two, I don't
I
know
didn't.
how
I
it's
feel
gonna
pretty good
affect
about it.
Corvan Dallas.
Just kidding.
Number three,
That's his third wife. Poor bastard.
Oh.
Don't
I
marry
am
anyone.
His second
worried,
one wasn't real.
more worried than I think you guys are about the fucking bear guy and that goddamn little blue girl, because I think, honestly, that is a bigger issue. I do think that him going haywire is not good, and I think it's going to come back and eat them, and I don't know how yet.
Yeah.
I'm worried about it, and I'm worried because he snuck away, and they hinted at it so much, and it might have been more, and maybe he was a spy. I don't know. What the fuck, Manny?
I got a memory, and it was our podcast. That's so cute.
You realize we're literally making a podcast right now, right?
All right.
You don't have to rely on memories, buddy. You're in one.
I got a memory.
It was cute.
All right, so we are super pumped for the Blinding White. Let's go and fuck it. We
The
know
blinding
book.
white or the
Everybody-
burning white?
The Burning White. I might have said the Blinding White.
I think you've been saying blinding
saying
light the whole
blinding
time.
Well, fuck me. I meant the Burning White.
I do
probably
have
blinding
to
too.
say, I know we got to start heading towards final thoughts.
No,
soon-ish.
we got time still.
Yeah,
I
soon-ish.
was gonna start the thinking about the future. But if you have something,
I was just gonna say we kind of touched on it earlier, but I didn't have a chance to say it. But I am personally pretty worried for some reason. It could be a non-issue. It could be just him setting up the fact that it's not a big deal. It could be just him setting up the fact that it's not a big deal, but the fact that all of this, because basically throughout almost all the books, as soon as we found out who real Gavin is, we kind of had this tension of what's Kip gonna think when he finds out that he killed his dad, basically, right?
Yeah.
So now that tension is released, I'm kind of worried that he's like giving us misdirection and that something really, really bad is going to happen between Gavin and Kip.
I agree with you on that.
Like, I feel like he wants us to feel like, oh, good, that's not going to be a point of contention, you know? But there's also a part of me that feels that, it's a setup to make us feel good about that relationship now so that he can absolutely just destroy us.
Yeah,
I'm mostly concerned about Gavin and his state of well-being right now, and like mentally, like what he's thinking, and I don't know. I feel like
I know
they just mess with him so much that I don't know what he believes or.
Well, how about he definitely doesn't know he could draft the white yet.
Well, let's talk a little bit. So his seventh
goal.
Nobody, he's never said aloud, he's never written, but somehow Grimwoody knows what it is. So Grimwoody has to have some contact with an immortal, I bet. Right, because how else could Grimwoody know? He's like, oh, I deducted it because everyone in power wants this, but we don't quite know, but it's got to be something to do with...
But does he know, or did he just like say,
intuit it?
What's your seventh goal? If you want to get it, you got to be alive, so go...
What do you think he means?
No,
I think he means that Gavin wants to become one of the immortals.
I thought he meant that Gavin wants to destroy the religion or kill or hold him.
Well, then he's sending him on the right track.
But he's like, this probably won't do it, though.
No, but he's like, this is your only chance to do it. If you possibly can get your seventh goal, this is your only chance to do it. And he's like, I'm giving it to you.
But I think
here you go.
Your
Go
only
do your
chance is in your only chance to stay alive to actually accomplish it.
No, but it was... I took it as, this is your chance to go fulfill your seventh goal, and this is your only chance to do it, and I'm giving it to you. Here you go. Go fulfill
isn't
your
this the wonderful thing about literature?
I thought,
we don't know exactly what he's saying.
I thought that he was saying, I don't know it, but if you want it, you gotta be living to do it. And to be living to do it, you gotta kill or hold them for me, motherfucker.
Josh, what did you think he was
saying? Oh my god! I'm like, wait, is this an episode of Terrace House?
Can we just go
Let's talk about passive aggression. Well, I think...
because he...
Was that being passive aggressive, guys?
Yeah. No, it just bounced back and forth.
Yeah, I don't think that you're wrong, but I think...
Wait.
Mother...
No. I think... Alright, what do you think, Manny? I want to know what you think.
Let's hear what Manny thinks.
I don't know.
I agree with both of you.
Yeah.
I agree with you two.
That doesn't help. That doesn't help one of us.
I don't know that I believe that Grimwoody knows what his,
I think he does.
His seventh goal is. I think he kind of can suggest. He can kind of like say, "Oh, I know because this is what I would want." Or
well, he's like, "This is what people in power want."
Yeah,
like,
but I don't know that he knows for a fact.
Well, here's the thing that kind of makes me wonder if Grimwoody did know is because Gavin even thought to himself, unless I'm mistaken,
he's like,
unless I'm remembering it wrong, I thought Gavin like right away was like, "Oh, how does he know that?"
Yeah,
I've never said that.
I've never read it. I've never said it.
But
I've never written it down.
Gavin's the product. He's been around Andros his whole life. He's used to people deducting. There's something about something that he said that made him think he didn't deduct it. It's like, oh, how did he know that?
Yeah,
you know. So there's a part of me that feels like he could possibly know, and that Gavin has like this sense that he does know.
But I think like, how else could he know unless it's like an immortal? Because an immortal could have come into the future and known what his thing is, and then come back in the past and be able to say it. So I think Grimwoody has to have some type of connection, and it could be either side. It's most likely the bad side. But the bad side, it's interesting that they want to rule. They don't want to have someone kill all of the kill or hold them. Well, they want to kill all, but they don't want someone to kill all magic.
I don't think we know really what either side wants.
We don't know what they want.
We
don't know anything about them.
Do you guys think that it's possible I don't know if this will ever come up, but do you think that there's any possibility? This is kind of off the top of my head. Sorry if this changes the subject, but do you think it's possible that because there's like mirrors and seers and stuff like that? Do you think that what makes them able to do it is that they can actually communicate with immortals without breaking the halo? Because that would kind of explain why it's so inconsistent and why they can kind of see the future but kind of not. Some of them tell the truth. They might have a relationship with a more truthful immortal, whereas some of them just kind of like...
You would think they would throw something in there to say, like, I've been told or I've been led to believe instead of I saw or I know.
But they might possibly not even know exactly what's
I'm getting the
to
sense
them,
that the magic system is much deeper than color, and we're finding out now with soul casting and spirit casting and mirrors and this that there is so much more than what we had.
Yeah, because we've
thought.
been really like kept in the dark because of the Chromeria. They like don't want us to know anything else besides the Chromeria. Because there's soul casting and I don't know, like it's just so crazy. Because I feel like there's so much more that we don't know that kind of got thrown into this book that needs to be explained. So I'm just like, this last book is going to be like 2,000 pages.
And it's so
or maybe it'll end and we're like, oh, now we have so much we could actually learn. And it'll be like, we're that group of people that are just coming out of the sand, like digging ourselves out of a giant trench.
And it's so different from a lot of other books where, like this one, they're literally just like, you typically have a defined magic system and here are the rules behind it. And like, we get that from the beginning, and they slowly kind of break them down. Like, but that's not right.
No, they're like, you've been lied to.
There's gray area.
Your understanding has been this because that's where you grew up.
Well, you got to remember, in book one, 1/3 through the book, the biggest twist that would make any movie on the face of the planet happened.
Yeah.
And so now we're
I'm
like...
Dazen. Ha
So now we're like...
And that happened like 5th chapter.
Yeah.
So basically, Brent Weeks opened up this entire like spectrum of. Do you
I've been
know
misleading.
what you know?
Yeah. Do you know
or are
anything?
you being misled, motherfucker?
Oh, and
that's it.
And then we had just recently one of the most opposite ends where it's just like, oh, you thought he kept him alive?
You thought.
You idiot.
Dude, Brent Weeks was like, you thought.
Here's how stupid this is. I've read this book twice. And I got to that scene again where he touches the 2 bullets.
Oh, and he's like,
He touches
they
the
haven't.
2 bullets.
And I go... fuck my life, I already knew this and I forgot it. This is insane. What? It was never there.
Just
It
like
was
the
a
purple
part
thing.
of your imagination. A part of this imagination. That just fucked me again.
Dude, yeah, it totally fucked me so
I was
hard.
just like, what? Dason's insane.
Well, and even that
He's awesome. He's insane.
The man in the wall goes down
Shit.
and be like, I know all this because you come down and rant and just like yell at the wall for like 20 minutes or yell at yourself for 20 minutes. Like when you come down here and he's like, oh fuck, that's me. I'm yelling at myself.
And you lose blue when your brother escapes blue. And you lose blah when your brother escapes. Like, it's just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
This is so weird.
Dude, and then they're talking about like he had that memory where his mom didn't see the body. He opened up the
and it's a spear? Or no,
he
it's
was there,
the black
but it was
Luxin.
just a spear.
The black
and then
Luxin
his
spear.
parents are like, "Oh my god, our son is fucking insane."
Yeah. And they're like, well, but it was only Philia that knew that because Andros didn't know until 7 years
Andros
later.
is part of 7 years. Then it was like
he
another
thought-
7 and another 7. Andros and Philia were working together after that.
Yeah.
For at least a little while to say it's just like, oh shit. And then Andros is like,
I don't
well,
think they
I
were
can't
working
believe it.
together because otherwise Andros would have known when his wife found out.
She
Because
would've
I
told
think
him.
they never talked to each other
Yeah.
about it. They both just assumed.
I agree.
I think
They assumed they knew.
they knew in the other. Yeah, they were like either they knew or they were like.
Andrew
we're not
on
gonna-
7 years.
His mom
lag.
was protecting him.
Yeah.
Didn't want Andros to like move against him.
I could possibly see a situation where at some point they both kind of like figured it out, but that she just like pretended, oh yeah, I found it out recently also, you know?
Yeah.
And then he just, being the Nine Kings player that he is, didn't believe it and wanted to
Dude,
know the truth. You
There
know?
is fucking like something, a whole story that we don't get.
Oh, yeah.
Grasp us
Oh,
between
yeah.
those two. I promised you. Remember, he was looking at that photos.
and Tia saw
it
it?
had to do with all the work they were doing, probably to save their son against a black. All the work that they were doing to investigate all kinds of things. They were clearly looking at a totally different,
long-term plan.
long-term plan than anybody else.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Dazen was not privy to it. It might have changed things. If only
I'm kind of,
somebody can communicate to him.
It is a little
Communication.
confusing
Jesus.
now for me. I mean, I guess she legitimately believes in it and she had to do it eventually, but to me it's a little confusing why she chose to pass on now, knowing that what she knew about her son.
I think she's tired.
Yeah.
She just-
I feel like emotionally she
She's
must have been
just
super
drained.
drained.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine thinking that your son has become insane?
Right.
And thinking that he's been keeping his brother trapped in a prison for this long. Like, I don't
yet
know.
he's not.
But she might not have ever known that
Yeah.
he thought that he was.
Oh,
keeping
well,
his
that's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
'Cause-
But the whole time, like, I don't know. She
Yeah.
knew he wasn't
she
right.
knew so
Yeah.
much. She knew it
Well,
wasn't right.
she was
Now-
probably scared. My son drafted the Black Luxin, which Mirror, what's her name?
Jardinera.
Jardinera.
Janice Borg.
Janice Borg.
Janice Borg.
Told him but like she told me, like, it's a problem.
Oh dear, that was amazing. But you're right though. She said he's a black,
Like,
but they were
and that
investigating
it's a
the black.
bad if he does it. He can't draft her. He
I
should
just,
draft it.
I don't know, man. I get this feeling that she was just so tired.
She was,
Yeah.
yeah. She
Yeah.
literally thought all her sons were gone,
Yeah.
whether it's physically or mentally.
She
She thought
kinda
all
just-
her
what if
sons
she
were
was,
gone.
like,
sitting there.
She's
just
like,
thinking to
I
herself,
want to
"Oh,
go
man."
before you go to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
And then she's sitting there thinking,
and not
"Oh, man,
go
this psychopath's
necessarily
gonna kill
die.
me."
Yeah.
Not necessarily die, but I
Before
wanna
you
go
become
before
super
this
unhinged.
just gets
Yeah.
out of
We do
control.
need to go through all the characters and say who we think's gonna live and die.
Yeah.
All right.
That's our Brett bet. So let's
Do we
finish
have
on
any?
that.
Do we have any last things that we really need to discuss before we do that? 'Cause
I'm
that'll
really
be the last
upset that we didn't talk about fucking Karis, and that's just me.
Yeah, White Oak.
Let's do
Oh
a
my
quick
God.
5 minutes on Karis.
Yeah, we
got
have
10
time.
minutes.
We got time.
Okay.
love her.
Karis, remember
Is she
when
doing a good job or a
Manny,
bad
how
job?
do you
'Cause
feel
she's
about her?
turning Tia into a gigantic assassin.
Oh, and she's destroying Tia's mind.
I think. Ooh.
I think that she is doing. I think she's doing it. I think she's doing a great job.
How
But
about
that's
she-
just because I love her.
Doesn't she kick the Luxiet in the freaking face when they do the mirror?
Yeah.
They're burning him, and everyone just like he goes to pull the knife out, and she's like, "Pah!"
Thank
And they're
God
like,
you didn't
the
decide
white
to
iron.
leave that mark on the kid.
Oh yeah.
She took the mark, the
Off of
assassin
the
mark,
kid.
off of what's his name? Anyway, the assassin who
The
killed
super smart
Crunchers.
kid.
The
that-
Luxiet, who
the one that
helped them.
shot the girl.
Yeah. I always thought that I was kind of pissed at her, Tia, at that scene. I was really pissed at Tia because she's like, "Oh, who would I mark? Who would I mark?" And I'm like, "Why don't you fucking mark the asshole who forced that kid to do what he did?"
But she couldn't do it on anyone important.
But she
And
didn't
the
know that he
Luxiet's
forced him
important.
to do that though.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because she asks.
Why
him,
did they
and
say
he's-
she couldn't do it on anyone important?
That's what the
That's what
the
that
one
was
is
one
murder
of the
charge said.
stipulations.
That was a stipulation. It can't be anyone important. And I'm surprised she didn't go after her old. Wait, no, her old girl's already dead.
Yeah, she
The
already
one that
died.
was her old slave owner.
Yeah.
Is she dead?
Yeah, she got killed
Yeah,
by
I mean,
murder.
That's
Sharp,
that's
right?
kind of the terrible
thought she
thing
was
about
just,
that situation because if you
like
can't
the-
go after anyone important, there's almost probably nobody that's not important that's going to be able to get somebody that is
Yeah.
somewhat innocent to do something bad. So it's like you're almost guaranteed to like kind of kill someone that might
I'm
not
super
deserve it
glad
totally.
though. I'm super glad she pulled it because it did work out for Karis's favor,
Yeah.
obviously. Andros Guile reacting immediately as a chess player he is to do whatever that guy just every book that we read, Andros Guile is more and more just amazing.
Every book that we read, Andros Gall's just war.
He's
just war.
Think about how much
disagree.
more he's going to be next book.
How much more?
He's gonna be extra.
I don't disagree at all.
He's
I
so much
completely
more
agree.
than you know that he's actually.
I completely agree with you, though, Jeff. I think that Andros Guile, one, he becomes more scary, but also I understand him better with like every book.
Yep.
He becomes more kind of impressive when you start realizing
absurd.
like how much he's been able to accomplish, how he's not necessary. I mean, he's definitely a man in a position of privilege, but you kind of see like why he's in that position. Like he's a smart guy that does what he feels he has to do.
But anyway,
you know?
Karis, am I right?
Yeah, Karis. And
The
Karis.
white is amazing.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
waiting for Maddie to talk about
Yeah.
the whites.
Yeah.
Does he want
Ben, is
to
there
so
any
hard?
specific topic that we haven't touched on before we go through the Brett bets?
Not that I can think of offhand.
No.
He's looking for something.
All right.
He's looking
so
for the name of the.
We'll get started then.
The guy,
the kid.
that helped Karis, or that Karis was gonna
Yeah.
kill, and then he.
Yeah.
He also had a card, by the way. He was important enough to have a card. So
All
he
right,
might be an
guys.
important Lux, yeah.
Deaths of main characters. Who are we gonna do first?
All right. Here's what I think. Andros Guile will die.
Andros. Jeff
Ooh.
says die.
Yeah.
Ben.
Die.
Die. Manny.
Abstain.
You can't.
abstain. That's a.
Die.
Oh.
Die. Josh.
I think this is a. In the bag, it's a die.
I think it's a die. Well, just to kind of mix it up a little bit, I'm gonna go with die.
No.
All right. Tia.
Okay, death of Android, not Android phone. Andros.
iPhone is like
Fucking serial killer.
Captain,
What's the
we're
name
not
of the
talking
place
about
we're
you.
supposed to be getting into?
All right, next one.
Tia.
Whirly Ball.
We need to
All right,
talk
next is
about
gonna be Tia.
Tia. Die.
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 Ben,
Oh.
die.
Live.
We're not talking about live. We're talking about Tia. Manny and Josh live. Brett is the tiebreaker. Tia. I'm gonna go with live.
Yes! We're lost.
Live. Let's do Live next.
Oh, Liv. Liv's gonna die.
I'm gonna say Live.
Live.
And it's going to be a troublesome Liv because she's going to find out the hard way about.
Yeah, but how does she live with losing godhood? She'd have to
There's a
lose.
giant knife that takes
All
away
right.
colors.
Jeff says live.
Josh says live.
Ben says
I persuaded you with
live. Manny,
Die.
die. Josh,
Live.
live. And I'm gonna stick with love, which is live.
All right. Let's talk about Iron Fist. Oh, wait, do we
Iron
need to do it?
Yeah.
Do we do it?
Fist.
Yeah.
You.
Okay.
Jeff,
Jeff starts. Yeah.
Shit. I have to decide between Cruxer and Iron Fist.
You got to
right
think
now.
about what your old bet was.
We'll actually move around the table a little bit. Ben, first on this
Die.
one. Die.
Ooh.
Manny,
Iron Fist?
yeah.
Die.
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 Die. I'm
Die.
gonna stick with die.
Everyone.
No, actually, I'm going to say
Live.
Live.
I'm gonna go with live as well.
What the
All right.
Paste. All right, now we've got
Gavin.
Oh,
Gavin.
Yes, we need Gavin.
Dazen.
Slash Dazen. Gavin's
Because
already
real
dead.
Gavin would be an
Dead.
easy one.
Real Gavin's dead. He's been dead for a while.
right, who's that?
Spoiler alerts.
Manny starts this one.
What are those
Manny
two
starts this
holes
one.
on the wall?
Dazen is going to die.
Die. Josh.
Fuck, this is so hard.
Die.
Die. I'm gonna go with die. Jeff.
Live.
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 Ah, Ben,
Ben
live.
live. Good. So you
I feel
guys
like
are gonna
Ben just wants to
train.
Karis.
bet against me.
It's a good strategy.
Oh, Karis is
Karis
the-
is next.
Karis is gonna live.
Karis.
Live.
Live.
That's Josh's first.
I'll live.
Live.
I will live.
I'm going to
Brett's
say
gonna say die.
I say die as well. I honestly do think that Gavin is going to
Actually-
be tortured his whole life.
I'm gonna say live.
Actually, I don't know if I want to go with both Gavin and Karis.
I think Karis is gonna
That's
live.
right.
I think it's one or the other.
That's what I said as
Karis
well.
gonna live.
I said Gavin's going to live and Karis is going to die.
Oh, that's so
I'm saying they're
mean
both
to
gonna live.
Gavin.
Karis is like, oh no,
Ben,
not I.
Ben's going live.
I will survive.
And you're saying
I hope
Jeff
so,
died.
bro, I hope
Manny
so.
says live.
Just because
hell
I
yeah.
said this, just because I
I'm
said
gonna
this doesn't mean I want
say
it.
live then. I'm gonna say live because I'm gonna go opposite Gavin and Karis. I'll probably end up drinking on both of them, but at least it'll make
is everyone
sense.
else Corbin?
I mean, we have
No, we
to,
actually have to talk about Kip's
we
current
have to
life
talk
and Cruxer.
about
Tysus.
Tysus. Man, do we really want to do one for all of these
Yeah,
fucking
we have
people?
to. We have to. We have to.
Tysus
All right.
lives. Easy. 'Cause Kip's
Actually,
gonna
it starts with me on this
Oh, we
one.
should start with
So Tysus, I'm gonna go live.
Die.
Live.
Jeff die. Ben.
I think
live.
Kip's gonna end up with both
Tia?
gone.
Live.
I said
I think
Tia's gonna-
Tysus is gonna die.
I think
Die.
Kip's gonna have a very, very sour.
Live.
I
Definitely
think
live.
Kip's not
You know
getting
what's-
a happy ending.
You know what's gonna suck
Kip's
is
not
that
gonna get a
like
happy ending.
this realm is gonna lose and everyone's gonna die and we're gonna be like, what the fuck was the point of that?
Drink.
All right, so we've got Jeff die, Ben live, Manny die, Josh live, Brett live.
Alright, then it's just Cruxor then.
Paste.
I said
Cruxor,
that-
and we have to do Kip.
Yeah, Kip is the last.
Cruxor. And this is starting with Jeff again.
Die. I think
Die.
him and Iron Fist are
Yeah.
gonna kill each other.
Ben
Die.
die.
Fuck.
Manny
Live.
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 I hope so.
Live.
I hope so.
I'm gonna go die.
I hope so.
Don't go die.
I
hope so.
go live.
I think
If I have to drink on that one, I'm gonna put a note changed by Manny.
Oh, you know what I realized?
Manny's a
Manny.
will caster.
Shit.
Just because I've been voting against Manny so much, I need to go with him a couple times.
You know what I realized? I voted based on Brent Weeks' previous writing style. I should have realized that maybe he'll let us have something different.
Nah.
Okay, last one, Kip.
And Kip.
Live.
Last one, guys.
Live.
Live.
Jeff is, or we're starting with Ben, who's
Live.
going live.
Manny.
Manny.
Live.
I think everyone
Live.
says live.
Josh live. And Jeff live.
No, I'm saying die now. Fuck it, we're all dying.
I was going to go die, but now I'll go live.
Now that Jeff took the
Somebody's
bullet
gotta
for you.
fuck it up, bro.
Actually, you know what? No, I'll go with you because my instinct did tell me die, but I don't know.
All right, he's
Let me,
gonna
hold
live.
on.
He's gonna live.
Let me.
He's gonna live.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
He's
live.
gonna live.
Yeah, I'm gonna go live.
I'm gonna go live too.
Okay, so everyone went live.
We're all drinking on that one together.
Okay.
We might be.
Yeah.
Because I'm like borderline.
I'm
he's
borderline
gonna die.
thinking it could die. Yeah, I really am thinking it's a possibility, but I want that to be an all of us one because Kip's
Yeah, yeah,
fucking
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, yeah.
All right.
All right, that's it. We got them all.
What about
did we
Big
miss
Leo?
Did we miss anyone? Fuck
Those
no.
are
We're not doing the mighty.
Yeah.
What? No, we do have
there
one
any more?
We have one more.
Like-
Manny, we have one more. And it has to do with your murderous archer.
Nah, fuck
Ben
him.
that's not Ben Hay yet. That's
No.
the other guy.
Winston?
Winston.
No, we
Winston.
didn't.
Yeah, I don't care
Winston's
about
good.
him.
He's
No,
gonna die.
I think that he's going to play a bigger role than you think because of insanity towards the end.
I think we can do a Brett bet on if he'll play a bigger role.
All right. I think that Winston is going to die and he's going to accidentally betray the mighty.
Accidentally?
Well, insanity.
I'm gonna accidentally
Die and
Betray. Betrayal.
So the betray. This
They've
is
been
Winston.
building Winston up to be this insane,
He's not insane. He's
covered insane
He's
guy.
just cynical, man.
He's a murderer.
So
You're
we're
a
betting.
murderer.
We're betting on the die and live. The betray part. If he gets that right, he gets to give out one drink. If he doesn't, he has to take a drink.
All right.
I say he's gonna die, but he's also gonna be saved. He's gonna die accepting that it's not all about killing everyone and he's gonna save someone.
I think he's going to actually attempt to kill Kip.
Okay. So your bonus is the same thing. You either drink on it if you're wrong, or you give out to one of us.
By the way, we're just
Ben.
lobbing grenades, folks. We don't wish or hope any of this happens.
I'm gonna
just
say-
saying.
I kind of do.
I'm gonna say die.
Die.
And my Hail Mary is he was a spy all along.
Spy all along.
Oh, dang.
Oh, he was
Thank you,
with
just
the man
blew
of the
my
desert.
mind.
Manny. What? Manny.
I think he's gonna die as well.
Die. Any bonus?
I'm just kidding. I think he's gonna live.
Live as well.
Oh, he's gonna fuck live.
And I don't have any
Oh,
bonus.
that's a hail
That's almost
Mary.
an assignment.
Yeah, that's a Hail Mary.
I
All
bet
right.
he's got a bigger one.
And
than
I'm
assignment.
gonna go die.
Nice.
And
Jesus, we're
my
crazy.
Hail Mary is he turns out to be a eunuch.
No, my God. Yeah, we did find that Captain. What's the other guy? The captain of the Black Guard right now?
Fisk.
Fisk?
Captain Fisk is a.
Oh yeah.
Well, we don't. Yeah, he was.
He is.
But he
All right.
did love.
Well, yeah, we don't.
He can say that.
Yeah, I can
because
say that
he's
because I'm a homo.
Manny can say
Fisk
that.
love a eunuch.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Yes.
All right, I'm
boys.
excited for this next book so much.
Yes,
It all comes together.
I've been waiting to it.
I can't wait to start reading tomorrow.
Let's go.
I Guys, thanks again for joining us for this episode of Lit Literature. If you liked us, please check out our social media at Lit Literature 1 at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't hesitate to join in on the conversation. We appreciate the conversation, the questions, book recommendations, anything of that sort. Join in right on the social media websites. And don't forget to check us out at our website, litliterature.com, and our upcoming projects, though there aren't many now besides Lit Literature, you can find at lyket.net, Lyket. We do have a Patreon account, but if you truly want to support us, please like and share. Cheers.